Welcome to another edition of the Christian Business Values Podcast. Rick Durkee invites Christian leaders to share life stories that have transformed their communities for Christ. Learn from proven leaders who equip and challenge others to put faith-based principles into action every day. Dreams become visions when one is awakened into action. Follow the Christian Business Values Podcast at ChristianBusinessValues.com. Now it's time for this edition's Life Stories, hosted by Rick Durkee.
Welcome back to Christian Business Values. I'm your host, Rick Durkee. Thank you for joining us today. Always remember you can catch past editions at ChristianBusinessValues.com. And I have with me today a longtime friend and cohort in the Christian community here in Charleston. And Steve, you're in Savannah too, right?
Yes, sir.
And he's with C12. And Steve, welcome to Christian Business Values. It's a reunion. We're getting the band back together here, as you said. We started Christian Business Values about 4 years ago now, yourself and me and Joe Stringer.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it has. It has. And our mission was basically to get out stories of Christian values that are shared in the workplace. But you're a perfect guest to have back on the show now as a guest instead of a host, because you chair C12 here in the local community, and want to find out more about that today. But start out, tell us a little bit about how you were in corporate life and you worked in the corporate life, and what you experienced and what you saw that made you want to kind of exit that and come into more of a Christian values-led life and business.
Awesome. Thanks, Rick. Delighted to be here, and it's been too long.
Yeah,
we need to do this more often. C12 was definitely a call from the Lord on my life. There is no question about it. 27 years in corporate America, big oil companies, ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips, and a smaller fuel distributorship out of Portland. You know, it's amazing how quickly life goes by. And I never really felt, it was a great career. I enjoyed it, but I never felt like I fit. You know, they have a template that they want you to work within, and they try to mold you into that template. And as my walk with the Lord grew over the years, as I became a more mature Christ follower, I realized that we're not called to fit in, we're called to stand out. And about that time, I thought I was being called into the ministry, and that freaked me out, to be honest with you. It scared me.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went into doing all the number crunching, the typical stuff related to, to be a pastor of a church, you can't make much money. How do I maintain this lifestyle
personally? All that stuff.
Yes.
And how do I run this by my wife? Right.
Yes, indeed. And I was pretty frightened by that whole thing, because I was barely in church at that time. And it was one of those really unique moments that stands out to me. I feel like I could place myself in the pew at that time, probably 18 years ago. And then the call came back, because that sort of went dormant. I really wasn't ready for that. And I think the Lord knew that. And I was very much called to the idea of integration of faith-based leadership in business. And I was working for a managing partner of a private company. He was a believer, never really saw his faith manifest in how he ran his business. And I thought I had a really unique idea, Rick. One time I was on a run, and I was like, wow, wouldn't that be cool if we did that? If I really played out what scriptures told me about my life and applied it to business. I came back and I told my wife, I'm like, I've got this wonderful idea. I don't know what to do with it. And as the story goes, I connected with another now mentor of mine, who introduced me to C12 and said, you know, they're looking for somebody in this market. And of course, we're in Charleston, and my geography actually goes down the coast of Georgia. And the more I unpacked it, it was like the sweet spot. You know, I could apply my business experience, which was really, really good. Large public, process-oriented companies, small private, autonomy-driven private companies, and a heart for ministry, skills that the Lord blessed me with, And I've been doing this for 5 years, and I have to be honest with you, I am right in the middle of his will for my life. It's been awesome.
And that 5 years has gone by pretty quick too,
Hasn't
hasn't
it?
it?
Yeah, well, you've been on the journey with me almost the whole time.
That's
So
right.
it's been
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. So explain to us some situations where you really feel now why you are called to this mission for you to help business owners right now to develop their practices and also use Christian business values in their daily business lives.
Yeah. And for those that aren't familiar with C12, we're at the core a peer advisory group for Christian business owners. And our mission is to equip Christian business owners to build great businesses for a greater purpose. So we make the assumption that God owns everything. If he does, then we're just stewarding these businesses for a time. We're called to live our life as if we're serving the Lord, not others, not man. So if we're just stewarding this asset that he's blessed us with, what does stewardship look like? How do you do it better? How do you drive this business excellence beyond just being good to great? Good is the enemy of great, right? So therefore, we're called to step into this thing that is to build great purpose in what we do. It's beyond just earning a dollar. So we help business owners kind of tease that out of their team, out of their life. And our vision, Rick, is to change the world by advancing the gospel in the marketplace. So that's a big vision. So if you think about it and you get, my vision, God's given me a vision for 200 businesses in the Charleston, Savannah market on mission around this greater purpose element, we could really influence the market.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that happen. We've got roughly 35 or 40 businesses that are engaged today. We're looking at each of their businesses, not only how to run it intentionally, really, really well, where we bring MBA level content into our board meetings. And we're also trying to say, okay, what does business as a ministry look like? What does loving our employees look like? Having really competitive offerings to be an employer of choice. What does it look like to transform the marketplace? And by doing that, you create that greater purpose. So we see it all the time. We also have a holistic approach to our methods and teaching. And lives are transformed. I had one of our members that I think is one of our groups. He was at his second C12 meeting after being a member, and he believes that the conversations that took place in the boardroom with like-minded peers transformed his marriage, even saved his marriage.
Awesome.
So they're like these hidden sources
gems
of value.
Yeah.
And then you get right into the business value, where most entrepreneurs wake up one day and they go, "Wow, I've got a serious business I'm leading." And it started with one customer 10 years ago. And all of a sudden I've got 20 people working for me. And I have to be honest with you, I'm not doing it really very intentionally. So we help to bring an element of intentionality to it, from a revenue basis to people management to finance to, every facet of the business. So we help to stand up a greater intentionality, try to do it with a ministry focus. And it's crazy. Rick, I would tell you that most elite athletes have coaches. Most elite athletes surround themselves with other like-minded peers. Why wouldn't a business owner want to do that?
Yeah.
If you had the option to be in a circle with people that really love you, care for you, hold you accountable, be willing to have hard conversations with you about your business to make you better, and to have a coach that walks alongside you, to me, that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yep. In an MBA format, Christ is involved, weekly prayer, also a monthly meeting, right?
That's right.
A monthly meeting.
Yeah, that's the core offering of it. Exactly.
And also the camaraderie of this board of directors, this group that meets, that you can call anytime, 24/7, and get help on any type of business issues, any types of risks or opportunities that you want to bounce off of your peer group. And I know I gained a tremendous amount out of it, Steve. And I'll share this with you. One of the things that I really took from it was my intentionality for my business became very focused in, what does God want me to do this for? Who am I supposed to serve and who am I supposed to help? And it helped me to learn that I'm here to help anyone who needs my services, and also specifically focus on those that are left behind when somebody passes away, and help those people. So
I remember that point too, Rick.
Yeah.
That was a real inflection point, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that gives me chills to even remember when you had that revelation. And it was really I think in quiet time with the Lord, and you recognizing that, okay, I'm here to serve those that he brings to me.
Yeah. Exactly. Who share with me another story that really was that wow, aha moment that you said, wow, I really see this now for why I came to C12 and why I was led away from corporate America into this setting.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
I'll bet.
Yeah, we work
the favorite one.
Well,
the one you think of every now and then.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you that there's a couple of really touching stories where I'll give you two quick ones. A young man who runs a thriving company here in the Charleston area. He and his wife, in the middle of this process, really leaned into their marriage and tried to discern where the Lord was leading them from a marriage perspective, and they've landed on fostering. And I can't say that C12 was a part of that, but I think that we tease out that kind of intentionality even in the marriage, and they're touching children's lives that desperately need to see love and a family unit. We also have a relationship with the National Christian Foundation, which is a large nonprofit that helps develop giving strategies. And we recently did a segment on what it looks like to be generous from a corporate perspective. Wow. I've seen people lean into the idea of placing complex gifts into National Christian Foundation and have it bless other nonprofits that they were empathetic to, human trafficking, human life, hunger, water, you name the ministry. We're directing hundreds of thousands of dollars through the generosity of these businesses. The last one was a company that really had no direction from a strategic perspective. We have come in and helped facilitate strategic planning sessions with our leadership team. Leadership team never really got together. And we just brought a structure into their leadership team and a plan format that they can integrate their strategic plan into. And they have blossomed as an organization. They're focused on culture improvement, hiring the ideal team player. You remember Pat Lencioni's book. We bring resources like that into that conversation. And now they've got this high-performing team. They're directionally relevant according to their planning, and they're just killing it. So sometimes there's small steps, but we encourage action. So we ask all of our members to come to the boardroom, not just to learn, but to have a bias for action, right? Because you can have a lot of head knowledge, and if you don't get actually some traction out of that, it's kind of wasted.
Right. If you don't take one or two of those nuggets and implement them then in the next month before your next meeting.
Exactly.
Hey, Steve, I want to help our listeners and our watchers find out how they can guest or come to a meeting for C12 and find out more about it, or just maybe give you a call.
No, that's great. Yeah. The two best ways of getting a hold of me, C12lowcountry.com, no dashes, no underlines, no spaces, C12lowcountry.com. And you'll see my bio, ways to get a hold of me, super easy. Our process is really simple. I usually like to have one phone conversation, maybe a coffee with people that are interested in C12. So after that, we just encourage them, if they want to learn more, come to a meeting.
Yeah.
So, and that's how you did it.
Yeah.
We
Be
had
a guest.
Yeah. Just be a guest. And there's no this. Look, C12 is not for everybody, but those that there is a fit for, and they are really attracted to it, it's like a 10 times return on their investment of time and money.
Yeah, it sure is. Okay, so one more time, that's C12lowcountry.com. C12lowcountry.com. Get in touch with Steve, find out more about C12. Hey, we thank you for your time today on Christian Business Values. We ask you to join us again each and every week and visit our webpage at christianbusinessvalues.com.
Follow the Christian Business Values podcast at christianbusinessvalues.com.